Hello, boys and girls. It is Mrs. Dailey coming on for math. Today we are going to talk about points and different kinds of lines and angles. We're going to do some pictures where we find those different things within a picture, and then I will show you guys how you can play point, line, ray, Simon Says at home. I do this in my class with my kids and they really enjoy it. So I'm going to teach you guys how to do that. So that's something you can do as an activity at home with your parents or your siblings, and it's good practice for you moving your body around, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you my anchor chart to go over this vocabulary so that you will be able to see it. So the first one we're going to talk about is a point. So a point is just a dot, like a period, and it represents a single place. So the way that I always remember this is a point is like your two hands coming together to make a dot. So can you guys do this at home? Take your two hands and smush them together. This is called a point. This is how I make it in the game too. So this is a point, okay? It's just one spot, one dot, one place on a line, okay? Point. A line goes on forever and ever in both ways. So to make a line with your body, let me move my computer back a little bit. You want to have your hands open because lines go forever and ever. So this is the arrows, your hands are open and your arms go all the way stretched out. So you can see my hands are all the way open, okay? That is a line. It goes on forever and ever. It has an arrow at the end of both sides. So a line, arrows at both sides, hands open, okay? The next vocabulary word we're going to talk about is an ray. A ray is a part of a line. So it has one point on one side, so closed fist on one side, and then an arrow or an open hand on the other side that goes forever and ever in one direction. So a ray could go straight like this, it could go sideways, up and down, any direction, but one hand has to be closed for your point, and one hand has to be open for your arrow. So if you were to look at mine, this hand is open, and this hand is a point, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. It's a little funky to look at. So a ray, point on one side, arrow on the other. The next one we're going to talk about is a line segment, and that's a part of a line. And the reason it's a part of a line is because it has endpoints on both sides. So both of your hands will be fists to make points, and the same thing as a ray, it can go in any direction. Your hands can be up, down, to the side, but both of them have to be points, okay? Because this is only a part of a line. It does not go on forever and ever. It ends, and it has points, okay? Point, line segment. The next words we're going to talk about are parallel lines. So you can look here in my picture and you will see parallel lines go back and forth, side to side, but they never cross, okay? So I make parallel lines two different ways. One, you're going to have your hands open because parallel lines go on forever, and they can go up and down like this, and you say parallel, or they can go side to side like this, parallel, okay? The main thing you want to remember is that they do not touch. They never cross each other. They go in the same direction, but they never touch. Just like this picture here of the road, you can see that those lines go the same direction, but they are never going to touch each other, okay? Intersecting lines is when they touch. So it's two lines, so your hands are open because they're lines, and they cross at one point. So you make a cross, and these are your intersecting lines, okay? Intersecting lines cross each other at a point. So this spot in the middle here would be your point, okay? And then the last one we're going to talk about is perpendicular lines. So perpendicular lines are just like intersecting lines. They cross each other, but when they cross, they make a 90-degree angle. So they cross straight up and down, side to side, so that this here would be a square. It is our right angle. And you can see this example in the window picture here, okay? So those are all of the words and all of the, the movements that you need to know, okay? So, okay, so just a quick reminder, point is when your hands are together like this. Ray is when you have a point on one side, open hand on the other side. Arms are out in whatever direction you want. Line, two hands pointing out, any direction you want. Make sure your arms are all the way straight. Line segment, 2 points. Again, arms out any direction you want. Parallel goes either up and down or side to side without touching. And then we have intersecting or perpendicular. So I do those the same because they look very similar, but it's just when your arms are crossing, okay? So we are going to, at the end, play a game together, but right now, I want to go back into my unique program because we are going to do some practice of looking at shapes and finding these different lines and points within a shape, okay? So first, we are going to look at the seed packet here on the end. Out so you can see it a little bit better. So we're going to be focusing on this seed packet here. And the first thing I want to do is figure out how many points this has. Now remember, a point is the same thing as a dot, and that's where two lines come together, or a spot on a line. So if I were to look at this seed packet here, where do you think that a point would go? Can you touch it with your finger? Beautiful, yeah. So points go all the way around the edge. So one here at this corner, one here at this corner, one here at this corner, and one here at this corner. Beautiful. So then I can talk about lines and line segments. So for this shape, it is a package, which means there are points where it ends. So do you think I should use a line segment or a line? Yeah, I'm going to use a line segment because those have points at the end. So I have a line segment on this side, and I also have one on this side. And those are my parallel lines. And then I have a line segment here on the bottom or on the top, and those are also parallel lines, okay? Now, in a previous lesson that we did, we talked about shapes and we talked about angles. And so here is a right angle, which just means that if I were to use a marker, let me see if I can get my marker. If I were to use a marker and draw where these two meet, then it would make a square. It's 90 degrees. So in this shape here, whoops, there is a right angle on every corner, right? Every corner has a right angle, okay? So let's look at our next shape, and I want to see if you can do some of these without my help, okay? So let's do our points first. So with your finger, I want you to touch all the spots where the points would go on this shape. Touch all the spots where the points would go. Beautiful job. Yeah, all the way along the corner, just like the rectangle, the square has points all the way around the edges, okay? And for this one, because we have points on the edges, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked before. Should we use lines or line segments? Beautiful. Line segments, because these lines have stopping points, right? They have points on the end and they do not continue to go forever and ever. So I have a line segment here. I have a line segment here. The line is just like a line segment, but it would keep going on forever and ever, which means our shape would just keep going on and on and on and on, and we don't want to use that. And then the last one we have that we could put on is our angle. So I want you to use your finger and point to where that right angle would be on our square. You guys are so smart. Awesome sauce. Okay. Here is our circle. So let's talk about our circle. Our circle only has one point. It's in the very middle because a circle is round, which means it doesn't have any lines that go around the edge. If I were to take this line segment, there's nowhere that I could put it where it would make sense, right? If I were to take this line there's nowhere, I could put it across the middle, but that's not really our shape, right? Our shape is a circle. So there's not really anywhere where I could put the lines where they would make sense. Now, I could do a ray. If I took my point and lined it up with my middle point, I could put a ray out in the color blue. So it goes all the way and continues to go on and on and on. Okay. Same thing for my angles. If I were to line them up, they would continue to go on and on and on and on. Okay. So a circle is a little different than our square and rectangle. Okay. So let's move on. These are points. So we just did a little bit of practice. Now you're going to do it on your own. You're going to use these points and lines to draw on the pictures, just like we just did. So with your finger, I want you to put a point on each of the vertex of the seed packet. So just like we did on the last one, point with me where these points should go. Use your finger to touch and show me where the points should be on this seed packet. Very good. I saw a finger here. Is there somewhere else? Good. I saw a finger up here. Is there somewhere else? Beautiful. I see a finger here. And one more up here. Beautiful job. Okay, so the next one says, use a line segment to show one side of the lattice panel. So with your finger, I want you to touch the line segment. Is it this one or is it this one? With your finger, touch it. Beautiful job. Yeah, it's the one that has points at the end. Remember, line segment has points because it is a part of a line. Very good. All right, the last one says put two intersecting lines on two intersecting lines of the garden spinner. So one of these is parallel and one of them is intersecting. So with your finger, please touch the lines that are intersecting. Good, great job. Yeah, intersecting is just crossing. Very good. So I'm going to move this up here onto my circle, and you can see it's lining up with the colors that are crossing. Great job, guys. All right, that's the one we just did. I think there is one more. Okay. For the seed packet, this time you're going to use a line segment to show a set of parallel sides. So first of all, I want you with your finger to touch the line segment. Is it this one or is it this one? Beautiful. Yeah, it's the one with the dots, so, or the points. So now I'm going to line it up here, and with your finger, touch and tell me, where does this other line segment go? Beautiful job. Oops. Great job. All right, remember those are parallel because they go the same direction without touching. The next one says, put a point on each vertex, just like we did on the last one. That's easy peasy, right? So with your finger, touch and show me, where should I be putting points? Good, I see one finger here. I see a finger up here. I see a finger down here, and I see one up here. Beautiful job. And find two perpendicular lines. So remember, intersecting and perpendicular are very similar, but perpendicular has a 90-degree angle, which means I could draw a square in the middle, okay? With your finger, touch the lines that are perpendicular. Beautiful job, guys. Awesome job. All right, I think, if I remember correctly, there is one more. Okay, so this one is all about angles. Okay, so put a right angle on one of the right angles in the seed packet. So with your finger, I want you to touch the right angle. And remember, a right angle is 90 degrees. It goes straight up and straight across. So with your finger, touch the right angle. Beautiful job. All right, so for this one, we're looking for an acute angle. And remember, Miss Dailey remembers this because it sounds like the word acute. So acute little angle. Acute is the smaller than 90 angle. It's little, acute angle. Can you find the angle that is smaller than 90 degrees and touch it with your finger? Is it this one, or this one? Beautiful job. It's this one here. Remember, it's a cute small angle. And obtuse is a big, larger than 90 degrees angle. So which one is a big angle? Is it this one, or this one? Beautiful job. You guys did an awesome job of working through that together. So really quick, I'm going to take a couple minutes and tell you how I play my Simon Says game. So if everybody at home knows how to play Simon Says, you have one person who is it, and they are the person who is calling out what everyone else should be doing. So if Miss Dailey were it, I would say, Simon says, make a, and then I would choose one of the things. So Simon says, make a point. And then everyone else who's playing has to make their body into a point. Simon says, make a ray. I'm going to have my hand open, my hand closed, and make a ray. Simon says, make a line, both hands open, and I keep going, okay? Now, if I don't say Simon says, and I just say make perpendicular lines, and someone makes them, they're out because I didn't say Simon says, okay? So that's just a fun way to practice using your different lines to play a game to move your body. You could do regular Simon Says to move your body as well. That's always good to practice your body parts. Miss Dailey just likes to mix it up and add in those lines and making them with your body. I hope that you enjoy that. I hope you guys play that game at home, and I'll see you on our next math lesson. Bye.